So let's dive into one of the biggest, the biggest, challenges in artificial intelligence today: trust. How are we supposed to rely on something we can't really see inside of? We're going to explore how we can get AI out of this mysterious black box and into a future where intelligence is something we all share.
You know that feeling, right? You ask an AI a question, and poof, an answer appears. But what actually happened behind the curtain? How did it get to that answer? For the most part, that process is a complete mystery. And that feeling of staring into a black box, well, that's exactly the problem we're going to unpack.
And right there, that mystery, that creates a huge problem. Let's call it the AI trust gap. If we really want to build a better future with this technology, we've got to first understand why today's AI feels so, opaque.
If you think about it, for ages, powerful data and intelligence were locked away, kept in these digital vaults in big companies or universities. The inner workings, totally hidden, known only to a tiny group of people. This basically created the black box, right from the get-go, closing the whole thing off before we even got a chance to look.
This kind of closed system sets off a chain reaction, a real domino effect. When data and AI feel completely out of reach, it's pretty much impossible to see how they actually work. And, if you can't see the process, how on earth are you supposed to trust the result? It's just a natural barrier. It makes building any real confidence in these incredibly powerful tools really, really tough.
So, the big question is, how do we find the key? How do we unlock this black box? Well, it's going to take a huge shift in how we think about all this. A shift that's all about building the trust that's been missing from day one.
Okay, so this is the core of it right here. This is the big paradigm shift. We're moving away from these closed-off, opaque systems that just naturally create mistrust. The new way? It's all about being open, making things traceable, and building for collaboration. It's about turning us, the users, from passive bystanders into active participants. It's a huge move from top-down control to an intelligence that's actually driven by the community.
That all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually make it happen? Well, let's take a look at a platform called CoData, which is a great example of this whole philosophy in action. Their entire mission, their reason for being, is to create an ecosystem where data is open, reasoning is traceable, and collaboration is just baked in from the ground up.
Their whole philosophy really boils down to this simple but incredibly powerful three-step process. First, you just make the data open, get it out there. Second, you make sure the reasoning is traceable, so anyone, and I mean anyone, can follow the logic from A to B to C. And third, you build the entire thing for collaboration, so the community can jump in, contribute, and make the whole system better. You see how each step is a direct answer to one of the core problems of that old closed system. It's pretty brilliant.
So, following this kind of philosophy, it points us toward a really exciting vision for what the future of intelligence could be. Let's explore what this new model actually looks like when you put it into practice and, why it matters so much.
And this right here? This is the profound shift. The moment you open that black box, AI completely transforms. It stops being just a static tool and turns into a living, breathing system. It gets smarter because people can see how it works. They can spot errors, they can suggest improvements, they can build on its foundation. Suddenly, transparency isn't just some nice-to-have feature. It's the actual fuel for growth.
So this new kind of intelligence really stands on three pillars. First, transparency is absolutely essential. It's the starting point, non-negotiable. From that transparency, you get shared reasoning, a place where an entire community can understand and check the logic. And when you get those two things working together, the natural outcome is reliability. You can finally actually trust the system because you understand it and you've had a hand in building it.
Ultimately, this isn't just about building a better, smarter AI. It's about creating, and this is a great way to put it, the kind of intelligence the future actually deserves. One that's not only powerful, but also accountable and shared by all of us.
So, we'll leave you with this to think about. What really changes when intelligence isn't locked up and held by just a few, but becomes a resource that's shared by everyone? It's a big question. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.